practice.
Welcome to Successful, the podcast where we bring on local entrepreneurs and successful people and ask them how exactly they got to this point. So today I have with me Portia. She's a Canada-based influencer. She mostly, well, I'll let her introduce herself. So tell us about you.
My name is Portia, a Canada-based influencer slash creative based in Calgary. And
What kind of stuff do you do usually?
mainly I do mostly lifestyle, fashion content, primarily on Instagram and TikTok. I just started venturing out onto YouTube to do more long form content where we talk about navigating like our 20s, girl talks, like life advice, just getting more personal with like my audience.
Nice.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of like younger girls especially, they would love to see content like that because they're kind of nervous and scared about what 20s might be like, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're someone in high school, you want to know how getting through university might be like. So I think that's like a really good idea.
Yeah, 20s, like it's your first time being an adult officially, so it's very scary, very...
People say that like as soon as you turn 18, you're an adult, but like you don't really feel it until you're like 21, 22, and you're like, damn,
then life starts hitting you and you're like, oh my gosh.
You're like, damn, they weren't lying, bro.
Yeah, it's a lot. Your 20s are a lot to navigate, and I find like a lot of the creators that have helped me like navigate my 20s. I'm like, I want to do the same for like other girls.
Yeah, I think that's a really noble thing. Like, it's not really something that you're doing just for, you know, like a lot of people do it for clout or money or whatever, but this seems like something that'll actually go out and help a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure. Especially like other African girls. I'm Zimbabwean, so there's not a lot of Zimbabwean creators. So it's like really good to have like
a
that
role
type
model.
of a good representation of like other girls like me to, I don't know, inspire. Yeah.
Nice. Something that other girls can like follow in the footsteps of. So I noticed that you started your content during 2020, if I'm not right?
Yes.
If I'm not wrong.
No, I've been on the internet since I was 11.
Damn.
Yeah. Okay. My Instagram, I think I started taking it more seriously when I was like 17 or 18.
Okay.
But it really started like popping off for me around during COVID time. So that's when I really started like. Yeah.
Do you think COVID had any part to play in that?
For sure.
Yeah.
I was so bored. Couldn't leave the house, and I just like, it helped my creativity a lot. So I just wanted to just do something, get myself out there, and like luckily like people received it really well, and it just motivated me to like continue doing it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So for the people out there that maybe aren't as familiar with your content, what were some of the first types of stuff that you did to like really blow up?
My very first TikTok video actually went viral, and it was just a video where I was just explaining like the POV of being like a black girl at a predominantly white school, and how, you know, I just found it like difficult for me to like get noticed by boys and like all that stuff, and I wasn't expecting it to go viral, but just the comments that I received of it from people relating, like expressing like their own experiences with that. Yeah. So like I was like, wow, like there's like really like an audience for everyone. So I started really just leaning towards like my personal life, creating more relatable content of like my experiencing, because a lot of people really do relate to it. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Have you had any like kind of like a weird encounters with some of the like maybe some of the DMs or stuff?
Yeah, for sure. Like obviously with TikTok, 'cause it's so big, you don't know who will see your stuff. So I've definitely encountered like some people who don't receive it well, racism, sexism, DMs, a lot of creeps, but it's expected. But I try not to focus on those people. I tend to like really focus on the people who like comment and reply, like especially on my Instagram. I have a really like personal relationship with my followers. Like I DM them a lot, they DM me, like we talk, like, so I don't know, I feel like I know them more personally, and they're able to like connect with me deeper through that.
That's great.
the negative people, we don't pay attention to that.
I've noticed that some creators, they actually end up leaning towards the negative people, like trying to clap back to every single comment, right?
I still struggle with that. I mean, sometimes.
I don't think I don't necessarily think that's really a good idea, because what ends up happening is a lot of people start watching you and they just watch you for that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And they become like hate watchers basically at a point.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's not really the type of audience you want to grow, right?
Yeah, I would say like for sure, like when I was like 18, 19, 20, my content was very like, not even rage bait, but like it, it was controversial. So like I had more time to like clap back at people, but like you said, like it brought so much negative energy onto my platform that I didn't want, which kind of defeated the purpose of what I wanted to do. So it's like focusing on like the people who genuinely show you love instead of like focusing on
the hate.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's important.
So what like got you started into making content? Like, why did you want to make content?
Honestly, it's gonna sound so random. When I was 10 years old, when Justin Bieber just got famous.
Okay.
He got famous off YouTube, so he would do like a lot of covers.
I've seen those.
And that was back when I wanted to be like a famous singer, pop star. So I was like, I'm gonna get famous on YouTube or on social media. I mean, 2010, social media was not really like that big of a thing. And I was 10 years old, but I wasn't even allowed to be on the internet. But I was just convinced I could do the same thing. I would get recognized by someone online. So I started making like my YouTube videos, and for the first few years, it was just me like doing covers, doing music. It wasn't until I graduated high school where I'm like started leaning into like modeling, because I'm like 5'4", I couldn't do like runway modeling or anything crazy. So I'm like, let me just take pictures, find some photographers, post it on Instagram.
Nice.
And that's really when it like started, because I started like having content days and like finding different ways to like, I don't know, be creative with my content. And that's really when it like, that
was really like the pipeline basically.
Yeah, it was really like the pipeline. It started with music, and then it just led to modeling, and then to where I am now.
Nice.
Yeah.
I feel like once you get that initial like I don't know how to say it. It's like a drug, basically. When you see people like commenting and liking and stuff, you're like, damn, like, that kind of feels good. Yeah.
It is. It's addicting. I mean, it's kind of like a double-edged sword sometimes.
Yeah.
Because like
100%.
You end up like, you don't want to end up like posting for views.
No.
But it's also like very like motivating. Like, okay, like people see the vision and people get it, and then it makes you want to like create more. So like that's really what it has been for me. So like, it makes me excited to like do it every day.
I remember the first time one of my videos blew up. It wasn't even that crazy,
Yeah.
but I just kept refreshing. I'm like, oh my god, the likes keep going up. Oh my god, it's at 10,000. Oh my god.
Yeah. My first video that got 1 million, that was me. I'll just refresh and it'll be like,
exactly.
I'm like, oh my god.
I'm like, yo, am I getting botted or something? What's happening?
It felt like, because I would hear people all the time who blew up, they're like,
Yeah.
it's like overnight, and then like 5,000 turns into 10,000, and like how fast it is.
Yeah.
But when you actually experience it, it's like, oh my gosh, it can be very overwhelming too, but it's cool.
But that feeling is very addicting. I'm not gonna lie.
It is, and I see why people tend to like chase it and become those like
clout chasers. Yeah.
It's
oh
like
God.
it's really easy to get into that, wanting to get that attention and that validation, but I'm lucky enough to have already had that validation within myself before I started, because it's so
That's
easy
great.
to get addicted to that.
Yeah, like once you get that initial hit, you're like, oh my god, I need to do something bigger, or else people are not gonna like give me that feeling again, and it just keeps getting worse and worse until you end up like, who's that guy, Johnny Somali, and he's getting charged with like 20 years in prison in Korea.
No.
Have you seen that?
No.
So there's this Twitch streamer, his name is Johnny Somali, right? He's known for like going around the world on like an international tour of getting his ass beat. So every time he goes to a new country, there's people beating his ass, right? Because he's like
Just random people on the street, or?
well, yeah, it's because he's like really infamous for like being like a public nuisance. Like he'll go up to like a you know, like those Japanese subways, right? Where it's like super calm and everyone's like polite and stuff.
They don't like disruption.
Exactly. He's just going there and he's like yelling Hiroshima, Nagasaki, shit like that. And it's like horrible stuff, right? So every time he goes into like a country, like people are there just like chasing him down, like, yo, get the hell out of our country.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, as soon as he entered Korea, there was basically like a UAV online, like just on his location at all times. So whenever he goes somewhere, everyone's like, okay, there's this guy, and he got jumped like 7 or 8 times, right? And then finally he got arrested a few weeks ago, and he showed up to his court date, which was 2 days ago, super drunk, like blitzed out of his mind, and he ends up getting sentenced to at least, I think, 7 or 8 years. And those are just on like the smaller charges. The bigger charges, he has to appear back in like April or something.
See, was it worth it?
Exactly.
7 years of your life gone for
some views, and like
views.
It's not even that many views. Like the only people that watch him are people there to watch him getting his ass beat.
Yeah,
like,
those people could care less about him.
it's such a pathetic. I don't know, man.
Yeah, and it's a dangerous pipeline. Like trying to figure out like if you're trying not to do things for attention, or like wanting to know what type of attention you actually want to get. That's something I've had to like ask myself.
Yeah.
As I'm getting older, I'm like, what do I want like my platform to be? Like, what do I actually want to be well known for? Like, am I posting it for attention, or am I posting it because this is genuinely something like I like? Or
well, speaking about that, like let's say in the next 5 years, what are some of your like where do you see yourself, like your goals and stuff?
5 years, I definitely see myself doing creative work full time. Currently, like I do social work, so I work as at a child treatment center with children dealing with mental health and like addiction. So I want to eventually try and like mix my 2 worlds together somehow, and which is why like I started my YouTube, so I can like have that like form of like advice, give something back to the viewers instead of like them just like giving me the likes and just like, oh, you're so pretty.
Plus like doing your own stuff kind of gives you that freedom of knowing exactly when you want to like like basically clock into work or whatever.
Yeah, and just because right now I'm working because the hours I do because I have to, but like long term I see myself mixing those 2 worlds together. But I just want to be creative, whatever avenue that is. I just see myself doing something creative, whether it's full-time content creating, fully entering into like the fashion world, music world, acting. Like
I think you're on the right track. Like I said, there's so many people that watch your stuff, and the whole reason we know about you is because we're some content creators in Calgary that are blowing up, and you were one of them. So I think you're definitely on the right track, and within 5 years, who knows, maybe it'll be even bigger. Right?
Exactly. Who knows?
Yeah.
I was curious. How did you find my social?
That's not up to me. That's my social media manager.
I'll ask her later.
Yeah, but I have an amazing social media manager. She goes out and she gets all of these amazing guests for the podcast. So shout out Mercy. Thank you very much.
You've had some really cool guests.
Yeah. And you should see some of the stuff that we're working on right now, because we have like 7 or 8 episodes that we're just editing right now.
Yeah.
And once those come out, you'll be like, damn, these guys are kind of cool.
Calgary based, which is so cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why what I'm thinking is like when I have like maybe 20 of these episodes out, I want to host like a little bit of a meet and greet of all of our past guests.
That would be cool.
Yeah, and that way everyone can meet each other and they'll be like, yo, I saw you. Yeah, like a little bit of networking. Yeah. And we'll have Celestia. Oh yeah, I forgot to say. Shout out to Celestia Productions for letting us use this space. If you guys need any sort of event, gig, photography, videography, or honestly anything, just head on over to celestiaproductions.com. We have a huge service list filled with like so many different services. Literally anything you need, we probably have it. So head on over, and thank you so much. Welcome back. I just want to start off this segment by saying thank you to CelestiaBooking.com for allowing us to do these podcasts. If you guys need any sort of airline, any sort of booking of any sort, like even car rentals, electronic SIMs, hotels, and like I said, plane fares, head on over to CelestiaBooking.com and we'll get you sorted. Okay, Portia. So I was doing some more diving into your content, and I saw that you do acting. Do you want to talk about that?
Yes. I went to performing arts school, so I took a lot of drama classes, did a lot of plays, like Grease, we did Mulan. Ooh. So I got a lot of like my acting background from that.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, like I am pretty multifaceted, so like acting is another like huge passion of mine, and TikTok has been like such a good
Such a good place for like,
yeah, to like act like certain roles and
like skits and stuff.
Like it's so fun for me and I really get into it. But
it's basically like you're your own director, which is amazing.
Yeah, and it's so fun. It's made me like more confident. And yeah.
Do those videos usually do well?
Those are the ones that tend to do the best, I find. Yeah, because I guess like depending on what exactly I'm acting, it's whoever can relate to it. They're like, oh, like I've went through that. Or one video, there's a Tupac video, which is my first really big viral video with 5 million. And it was just me like acting like I was like one of Tupac's background singers in his like diss track. And people really liked it, especially people who lived back in those days.
Was it like a funny style video?
Yeah, very like funny, very like comedic acting. Yeah. I haven't done any serious acting yet.
Do you ever plan on getting into that? Like
I want to.
Being an actor?
I registered for an acting class, so that's like my first step to taking it fully seriously because I want to move it past TikTok.
We had someone inquire about this space because they wanted to use the space for like their classes, right? And he's an acting instructor, and he's had a lot of his like. I was gonna say patients because I'm thinking of doctors, right? But he's had a lot of his clients like go like onto like really big budget stuff, right?
Yeah, I even have a lot of like creator friends. Shout out to Chris Yames, but he does TikTok as well, and he featured in like a really big like.
Is he from Calgary as well?
Yeah, he moved to Vancouver.
Oh, I see.
He used to be Calgary based, but he got featured on like I think it was CBC, like a show on there, and he was like playing like this like bad guy, and it was like so official. He was like on set and everything.
Damn.
And I'm like, that's so cool. But like he took the steps to like actually take it seriously. So I'm like, oh, like I can do it too, which was like really inspiring.
Nice. But, from what I've heard, acting, a lot of it comes down to your networking and the people that you know, right? Like you could be very talented, but it's really hard for you to actually get noticed by the right people unless you know those.
Get in those rooms,
So that's why those networking events, like I was talking about earlier, might be really useful for some people, right?
They are important. Like venturing out, seeing people within your community who are kind of doing the same thing, seeing how they got into it is something I'm starting to like look more into seriously. But
I mean, it's something that's going to help you for the rest of your life, honestly, right? Like a friend you make now might help you like 20 years down the line. You never know.
Exactly. Yeah.
So on your TikTok, what other kind of stuff do you do? Like I saw you do like fitness stuff.
I do fitness. I've been in the gym since 2018.
Nice.
It's really been like a really big tool for me for like my own mental health. So I mainly got into it for aesthetics, but then I realized it was like a really good outlet for me to like let out my feelings in a more healthy and positive way. So just mainly what I post is like get ready with me for the gym and inspiring like other girls to like go to the gym, find a cute outfit, go to the like do something active with yourself. And it's been like really fun, and it has inspired a lot of people. A couple of people have DM'd me saying like, you like inspire me to like do
Has
this.
any of the gyms reached out to you? Because
no, not yet.
Really?
Gold's Gym.
Hey, we could put you into contact with the owner. We know the owner, but yeah. I've seen that Gold's Gym especially, they're super big into like influencer marketing. Yeah,
especially the one I go to. Like, there's a lot of like gym influencers there, and it makes it less nerve-wracking, like having a camera, because sometimes filming in the gym, it has become a very taboo thing to do.
100%.
So like having other influencers being so unapologetic about it, it's like, it's really
It feels a lot more normal than if you were to just go to like Planet Fitness and there's
They're
just
like
only
looking at you.
They're like, what is this weirdo do?
I love Gold's Gym specifically for that, because I felt like less anxiety with that. And
I want to start doing gym skits for like my own TikTok and stuff, because I usually go with like a group of friends, like 2-3 people, right? So I feel like that's something a lot of creators don't do. Like they just go alone, which means it's a lot harder for them to do these skits because they don't have the right people, right?
Yeah, but it's harder to film alone for sure. Getting the angles, having to move the camera, it's a lot. You end up being in the gym for like 3 hours.
Yeah. Like you go there to do a workout for an hour and you end up doing like 5 sets of the same work and you're like, bro,
So you can get the proper angle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's actually good. You end up doing like a lot harder workout.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember I just came back from Dubai like a few weeks ago now. But when I went there, I went to one of the world's most expensive gym, and it was crazy. Like usually they don't even let you in unless you have like the pass and stuff, right? But they let me in because my family is pretty good, like pretty well known there. So I went in, and it's just filled with like photographers and like cameramen. I'm like, bro, is this like a gym or a movie set? I walk in, there's like 6 different people with like huge cameras. I'm like, what the hell?
Like just get used to it.
Yeah. And I went in
so
like
cool.
at like a super like late time as well. Like I went at like 11 p.m. right, which is like pretty late. I don't know, for gym goers.
That is late for a camera crew to be there.
Exactly, right? So I go in and there's like 6 different camera crews for 6 influencers. I'm like, yo, what the hell is this?
See, I love seeing that. I love seeing other creators in the wild because it just makes me feel more safe. Because I'm usually, if I'm at a restaurant and I have like my big ass camera or like my ring light, I feel like just like the odd one out. So when I see other creators out in the wild, it makes it more comforting. So I feel like if I were to see that, I'm like, yes, trying to get like
for me,
cameo.
I think it just depends. If it's just a person with their like camera and like themselves, right? I'll be okay. Like that would make me feel better. But when there's like a huge crew with them, I'm like, then I'm like, yo, is this guy famous? Am I supposed to be here?
It's like, who are you?
I don't know. It's really good for networking. But anyways, I saw that you also had a cat.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about that at all, or?
I can.
Sure.
I can finally talk about it without crying, but let me not speak too soon.
Okay.
But I had a pet cat. We have 2 cats. So we have our family cat who's with my mom at my mom's house.
Yeah.
His name is Simba. And around in 2022, like I was going through like a really dark time, like mentally. And one of my close friends, her cat actually gave birth to like multiple like kittens, and she's like, oh, like I would like you to like have this cat, and she gifted me this cat, and like I took her in. Aww. And like I didn't even realize like it was I got it at the right time. I was like the cat was there for me during like really difficult times in my life. Like I was going through a lot of like transitions, like with work, with school, like family stuff, just being also like a young girl in my 20s. So I just like went through everything with my cat. And last year he swallowed string, which is so random. He got into like my mom's like closet, like her sewing kit, swallowed some string, and we thought nothing of it. We just took it away from him, but apparently he had it had like wrapped around his like intestines. And we didn't know until he like stopped eating, which was very unlike him, because like you just had to like shake something and he's like running to eat. So he wasn't eating for like 2 days, and we're like, this is really weird. Wanting to like just sit down in one spot, very unlike him. And we took him in, and they're like, yeah, you're lucky you brought him in at that time. Like he would have died like in his sleep or something, because it would like it would have like ruptured in his stomach, bled to death. It would have been like really bad. So like we had to like put him down when we took him in. So like it literally caught me so off guard, because I'm thinking they're just gonna give him like like what is that thing?
Discharge? No.
What is it that you take when to like throw up? Suppositories?
Yeah, something
like that, like some medication to like make him throw up the string. But they're like, no, he either needs to go through surgery, but the surgery was not going to be guaranteed he would survive. So like we're gonna have to put him down. And like I remember I was like, like I didn't come here to leave without my cat. They're like, well, we can't, like ethically, morally, we can't let you leave with him. He's in a lot of pain. So we had to like put him down, and it was really hard. And being like African, owning cats, period, is very taboo. Like it's associated with like things like witchcraft and stuff like that. So like I was honestly like really embarrassed, like a little bit embarrassed to be so like distraught over like an animal passing.
There's no need to be embarrassed. What? That's
I don't
normal.
know. Like I'm sad, but like I think I just felt like, oh, like people will be like, why are you sad? It's just a cat. So like I was like, okay, let me not vocalize it too much. But I just remember being so upset. So I recorded the video that I posted on TikTok. It was really just like a vlog. I do a lot of like video journals that I can like look back on when I'm in a better mood, or, like to just prove like things get better. So when I found out the news that he had to be put down, I just recorded it. I was like really upset. I was crying. And my followers had already known my cat was sick, because I was like so confused. I remember asking my followers, I was like, my cat is not eating. Do any of you guys know what's going on?
Yeah.
And a lot of them gave me advice. So like I wanted to like update them. So I posted the video. I didn't know like reached that many people. I posted on both Instagram and TikTok, and like it reached so many people, and like they genuinely were the reason like I was able to like grieve and like mourn my cat, because like they're
sharing their own stories and stuff.
Yeah, they share their own stories. They like mentioned like similar situations that where it happened to them, like that it wasn't my fault, and like it was like really like it really showed me like how social media sometimes can be like such a good way to like connect, and like the good side of social media, because they were like really there for me. Like reading all of those like was like really helped me with like my healing. I'm not gonna cry. My makeup is too cute.
Well,
But, yeah.
Since we're on the topic, do you want to maybe talk about the impact social media has on people's mental health?
Yeah, like kind of like you said with like when your videos, if your video goes viral and then your next couple videos don't go viral, that in itself can be really hard for your mental health. I remember my first viral video, like I thought I was gonna be famous after that. Didn't happen that way. And like even that, it's like, what is it about me? Like that mental dialogue starts getting in your head. And also like when you share deep parts of yourself, there's gonna be people, even in life, there's gonna be people who just don't agree, and like people who are miserable or who are just not happy within themselves, who wanna, I don't know, put it onto like other people. So like I've definitely have dealt with that. And I've always been pretty lucky with social media, whatever platform I've been on. Like I seem to like, it's been easy for me to get a lot of people to like watch me, if that makes sense. But like Twitter, I'm no longer on Twitter.
Oh
but
God, Twitter.
Before it was X, like I used to be on Twitter, and like that was like my first time experiencing like social media hate, like masses of people, like oh my God, it was bad. But I think experiencing that really prepared me for
I originally blew up on Twitter. I had like 400K followers on Twitter, and then from there I migrated to TikTok, and I'm like, damn, so it's not normal to get doxxed every day. That's crazy.
Right? Like when you spend too much time on Twitter, you sort of think everyone thinks like that, but it made me anxious, because the more followers I grew on Twitter, it made me so anxious. And I'm like, I should be excited, but I'm like, I don't want these many people watching me.
Twitter's like I don't know, like TikTok is like recruit difficulty. You go on Twitter and it's just filled with like the most unhinged people on this planet.
Unhinged, like they just, I think they just have to like, they can't, it's probably people who just can't let out their frustrations in real life. So they just have to like find the next person online to do it to. Like a bunch of I feel it's a lot of miserable people. Like I've learned to have more empathy towards haters, because it's like no one who's like living a good life behaves like that, you know? So it's like you must be miserable.
There's something going on in your life that's not normal.
Yeah, but it has affected me. Like I've even now, like I have frequent social media breaks when it becomes too much, because like I still sometimes I get like hateful DMs, like especially I find when I talk about like just like the Black experience, I feel like sometimes it triggers a lot of people. Like so like a lot of racism or like sexism, like Instagram, I see it mainly on Instagram. Like I feel like anytime a woman speaks anything about their experience, you see a lot of people in the comments like, oh, go back in the kitchen or shit like that. Like as silly as it is, if you get it enough, it does start to like weigh on you.
Of course.
So,
when you hear the same thing like 10 times, you're like, oh, maybe
like,
they might have something. They might be onto something.
So like my advice is just taking breaks. That's what's been helpful for me. Turning off comments as well. But
I've noticed that like a lot of content creators these days, they just turn off comments. Like even our last 2 guests, they both have their comments turned off.
Yeah, I've learned to just with Instagram, there's a feature now where you can let people you follow and that follow you comment, so it's not like a bunch of strangers. But yeah, just learning to turn down the noise. Like you can turn off your phone. Like don't let anyone stress you out on your phone.
Exactly.
It's literally your phone. You can,
These people aren't real until
they're
you see
not
them.
real. Literally, you will never run into them, and if you were, like, they're not going to do anything.
Yeah, they're all
they
talk.
never,
You'll
yeah,
be
they're
fine.
never going to do anything. But it's so much easier said than
Has
done.
any of these experiences extended outside of like hateful DMs for you?
No.
Really?
Actually, knock
Nice.
on wood. No, I've not. Only good stuff. Like, oh, like I've watched your TikToks, but
Yeah.
it's never been like, oh, you posted this and I hate you. Like nothing hateful because of my social media. Thank God.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What's like the scariest thing you, as like a DM that you've gotten, you think? Or maybe not even the scariest, like the weirdest, or just the funny one that you want to share.
Funny.
maybe.
I've had like stalker-ish moments
Okay.
of like people showing up to places I was.
Okay.
Luckily, like I post my location once I leave.
Thank
So,
God.
I don't post in real time.
Yeah.
But like I've had someone show up to where I was like right after I left and DM'd it to me. I've had people like create multiple fake accounts after like I blocked them to just send me more hate, like just random stuff like that.
I just don't understand. How do you have so much time in your life to be doing this? Like,
I
get a
don't
job
know.
if you have that much time or something, man.
They're bored, and I think to me they act like they hate you, but like haters are low key fans too. They're like your biggest
Hey, it's another
fans.
view, man. Like, I'll take it.
Yeah, so I'm like I take it as a compliment.
Views of you. Like, if people are going out of their own way just to go watch your stuff to try and shit on it, like, okay, but I still
and
win.
also like creating a whole Instagram account, which means you have to put down your email, verify it through your email, and then
That takes time. It
search
takes like
up my
5
name on the
minutes.
search and then send me hate. It's a lot of work that I wouldn't have time
But
to do.
overall, would you say that social media has a positive impact or like a negative impact on your mental health?
I would say positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say mostly positive, but I feel like my generation, we are addicted to our phones. I'm guilty of it. So like
100%.
like I feel like that sometimes can impact my mental health, like the doom scrolling, just
Yeah.
consuming content that I probably shouldn't. But I feel like for the most part, it's helped me a lot with my confidence, even being able to like do something like this and speak to you. Like I used to be a person that was like very shy, couldn't do like hold eye contact for longer than 2 seconds.
Hey, I was the same way until I started the podcast.
Yeah.
bro.
So I feel like it's helped me a lot with my confidence. So like I see it more as a positive than a negative.
Do you think 4 years ago you would have agreed to something like this?
No.
No?
No. I would like, could I do it over the phone? I'm like, I don't know if I would want to come in, but no, I don't think I would have been able to do this 4 years ago.
Nice. Well, it's
No
amazing
way.
that you've, grown and now.
It's growth.
Yeah. I think just the more you put yourself out there, the more confident you become, and you're like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm not that weird. Maybe like maybe people
Taking that
actually do
leap
like
of
me.
faith.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Like
yeah.
once you do it once, you just like, I don't know. It's just like a little bit of a kind of like riding a bike, right? Like once you do it once, you're like, okay, maybe I can do it.
Of it. Like training yourself, like the more you do it, the easier it just becomes. You don't think about it as much. Even like posting, like every time I post, I would like have to like swipe off the app.
Yeah.
Or else I'll delete it. But now I'm like, period, I like this. I'm proud of what I posted, and yeah. But it takes time. It actually takes time. But you have to like work that muscle to like.
Yeah, especially with content creation these days, like it does take a bit of growth. Like you have to be consistent. You have to be posting every day, unless you're like super lucky and like a video just randomly blows up, like right.
Yeah,
But
which
aside
is
from
rare
that,
these
it
days.
is pretty rare because there's just so much content out there.
Yeah.
It's really hard to be like kind of, the one or whatever.
It's a bit oversaturated now,
It
but
is
like
100%.
I still think it's not if you wanted to do content creation, you can still do it. It doesn't matter if everyone's doing it.
Do you have any
like,
advice for maybe someone that's watching this and they wanna maybe follow in your footsteps?
I say there's an audience for everyone. Like just because you think everyone is doing it, you can do it too. Like sometimes like there's something about you that they like more than this other person. Like kind of like beauty. There's a ton of like beauty influencers, but you can be a beauty influencer too. Like you could have a certain energy that someone resonates with a lot. So like that shouldn't stop you just because everyone else is doing it. Like you have your own flair. Like you're already unique as an individual, and that in itself is like really cool and should be shared to the world.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
That's super positive. So you heard that if you, you know, if you're someone that's trying to start up content, just my honest advice would just be, just do it. Like, don't worry about the numbers, don't worry about the likes, the comments, whatever. Just do it. And if you're consistent with it, you'll grow. Trust me. Like, it doesn't matter what kind of stuff you do. There's a market for literally everyone in the planet.
Literally. There's an audience for everything. Everything.
There's just so many people on this earth. It's really hard to find something that no one likes.
Yeah, like there was like a creator who just like who has a dog, goes on hikes with a dog, just vlogs it, has like millions of views. But like it started off so innocent. And the funny thing with my viral videos, those are videos that I always contemplated deleting after. I'm like, But the ones where I'm like, this is gonna go viral, people are gonna like it.
Those ones don't do well.
They don't do as well. So it's just like, just create, do it for like you.
There's a Calgary-based influencer that we were thinking of reaching out to. What he does is during the winter, he just gets really high, right? Like he just eats a bunch of edible gummies and then he just shovels snow and he's like, hey, where am I? Like, I'm in Edmonton. What just happened? And he just keeps shoveling and he's like, he starts off in one road and he's like 5 kilometers down the road and he's still shoveling and he's just super high.
You do want to clean more when you're when you're high.
I don't know. Maybe that's the future guest.
Yeah, invite him over. I would like to hear his story. There's like influencers. That'd
be cool if he was high and he just came on and he just like just zooted out of his mind, just talking.
He's like, "This is my brand."
Yeah, of course I'm gonna show up like this. This is my work uniform.
Yeah. But yeah, there's like anything. There's an audience for anything. There's cleaning TikTok or people who literally just clean their homes.
Oh, there's some crazy TikTok, man.
And I love those videos. Like I will sit and watch like a 20-minute video of someone just cleaning their house.
Those are satisfying though.
They're so
especially
satisfying.
like, you know, the power washing ones. Oh my God, like
the
get those dirt off, bro. It's so satisfying to see.
It's so satisfying. So do it. Don't not do something because of, I don't know, what people think.
Like what you might be scared of. Like you'll be fine, trust me.
Like
I said, there's so many people out there, like you'll find an audience. Do you have anything that maybe that's going on in your life that you'd want to talk about? Any event, any projects?
Projects. I do have music coming out soon, so keep an eye out for that. Hopefully for May or June for summer.
Have you released music before? Or is this going to be your first time?
I did release music back in 2019, but it's been wiped off platforms because I just wanted like a fresh start.
Okay, got it.
So, but the OGs know. I did music first, but.
What kind of music is it?
Just like R&B.
Nice.
Yeah, R&B, soul music.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's what's coming up. As far as like acting projects, it's bold. It's on my vision board that I want to be in some type of acting project.
Yeah.
I just don't know how it's going to be done, but I don't know. I feel like when I speak it into the universe, it usually happens. Like an opportunity comes because I don't like to like limit myself too much. I'm like, I can do it, you know?
I think like places like this where you just go and put yourself out there to get seen by as many like people that aren't part of your normal audience as possible. Those are really important for being able to like, you know, kind of venture out. Yeah,
and I was like talking to one of my homegirls about this and like we just have to like start being in environments we're not normally in.
Exactly.
Exposing ourselves to different types of people because like we can learn so much from them and we can bring like new information to them that they might like. You never know, but it's just like having that bravery to like venture outside your comfort zone a little bit. Yeah, which is. And
you never know who's connected to who, right? Like like I said, one of our old staff members, he knew a guy that worked on Tom Cruise's house. So like that's something that you never would have thought of, but you're just like, damn, I know a person that knows Tom Cruise, right? And that's just 2 steps along the way, right?
Yeah, you never know. You literally never know who you meet, just as long as you put yourself out there. Closed mouths don't get fed is one thing I've learned.
Oh, that's a good quote. I've never heard that before. Closed mouths don't get fed. Who said that?
I don't know.
That's a really good quote, okay.
I've heard it a lot. Different people have said it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I haven't heard it. But yeah, well, I guess we should wrap it up then?
Yeah.
How was it?
I had fun. I was nervous. You should have seen me on my drive. I had to call my friend.
I still have to outro though.
Oh.
But, so I was gonna say.
Do your outro.
Okay. Yeah. So anyways, thanks. This has been another successful podcast with Portia. I'll have all of our social. Do you want to say your socials?
It's Portia Kay _ Kay on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So same for all.
And we'll have everything linked below with the guest, all of their channels, whatever they might be, whatever they want, honestly. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a good day. Bye.